Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tuned. In today's video, I'm going to tell you guys what I've been up to over the last month or so. I'm going to get right to it. Clear prop. So, behind me is my new paramotor. This is a Parajet Maverick with the Moster 185 engine, and I got inspired to get into paramotoring just scrolling YouTube one day, and I came across Tucker Gott, which is the guy that made this shirt. And he's a paramotor pilot, and he makes YouTube videos if you guys haven't checked him out. He's definitely a great inspiration to get into the sport. I didn't understand the amount of time and training and effort it takes to get into this sport. So I immediately was like intrigued watching his videos and was like, hey, that looks really fun. I want to try to get into that for two reasons. One, I'm terrified of heights. And you guys know that I've dealt with some pretty bad anxiety throughout my life, and throughout my young adult life, I've just struggled with anxiety pretty bad. And one thing that has helped me conquer those fears over the last, I don't know, a couple years that I've kind of been a little bit slower on content is facing those fears. One of the fears that I have is traveling. The other one is flight or heights. I'm terrified of heights, and this looked super fun and appealing to me, and maybe a good way to distract my mind with getting into the air and being less afraid of heights. So I dove in head first, and I was looking on Facebook Marketplace, and I found a few paramotors for sale that were like old, used, kind of shittier units, and I decided to steer away from doing that and training myself, so I decided to call up an instructor that was close to me. So I called up the instructor, and I've been training almost every single day for the last like 2 months. 75% of it has been with my instructor, and 25% of it has been on my own, just kind of getting more familiar with the gear and learning how to kite a glider and everything like that. So I'm gonna get into that, but first I'm gonna unpack my glider and show you guys what a paraglider is and what a paramotor is. So you guys just saw what the paramotor is. It's pretty much a barn fan that you strap on your back like a backpack. Some people call it an ass fan. I'm calling it a barn fan. I don't know. Dyno fan. We could call it a dyno fan. You guys see the big dyno fan over there we put in front of cars before we tune? This thing is just a big. It's a 185cc engine that is attached to a frame and a harness and some bars that adjust for your seating and stuff like that. And it has a prop which delivers a ton of thrust. Moving air is extremely powerful, and I've come to find that out. You know, I've dealt with a lot of stuff in my life, pretty much every aspect of power sports, whether it's motorcycles, four-wheelers, snowmobiles, cars, drag racing, whatever. I've never experienced anything with aviation or, you know, power of the air, power of the wind. And that's why this has been so exciting to me. And honestly, guys, you guys have kind of known that I've been a little bit stagnant and a little bit slow going with car stuff because my excitement really hasn't been there with a lot of it, because I've done so much of it over the last, you know, 10, 15 years that I've just kind of gotten a little bit burnt out with it, but I still love helping people and helping you guys out. So I'm going to continue doing that. Don't ever think I'm going to get out of cars. But it's just another hobby that I've decided to get into. I'm very ADHD, and when I get my mind set on something, it's really hard to get my mind off of it. And this is a prime example. And I wanted to just tell you guys that as soon as I picked up this sport, the first time I was training, etc., I was hooked. And I haven't had the mental, internal feeling of excitement as much as I have with this, pretty much since the first time I heard a turbo car. And that's saying a lot, because what got me into cars is, you know, hearing the turbos and just kind of hearing the engines and just getting super excited about it. I haven't had that like giddy, feel like a kid in a candy store kind of feeling ever since. I've tried to find it, but this has been the one way that I've actually been like, holy shit, I haven't been this excited about something in a very, very long time. So anyways, I'm gonna get the glider out of my truck and I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit more about my battles with trying to paramotor. All right, guys, so in the shop here, I have some of my stuff laid out, and I wanted to kind of go over some of it and show you guys what I've invested a lot of my time and money into lately. We'll start here. So I got these two little prop covers. Those go over the prop when I store it, and it just protects the prop from getting hit or anything like that. Moving on. These are some flotation devices that I got. These pretty much go onto the harness, and if you land in water unexpectedly or whatever, these can puff up and become a life jacket for you to help you float. I got an Involo helmet, which is an extremely expensive helmet. Would not have bought it if I didn't get such a good deal on all this stuff. Got a kiting harness and a windsock. So a windsock is very important in this sport. You always kind of need to know where the wind direction is coming from, so you know what way to launch and land when you go out flying. Last but not least, I have my glider laid out. If you guys don't know what a paraglider is, that's what this thing is. It's pretty much the trash bag that's above your head. It's a piece of fabric. It's a parachute, you could say. And it's a glider. Some people just go paragliding, which is kind of where they either jump off of a hill or a mountaintop or whatever, and they have this thing hooked up to their kiting harness, and you can go flying that way. You can control turning and everything like that with just the glider. The motor, the paramotor over here, allows you to control your elevation. So if you have the motor on your back, you can launch from the ground with no hill or anything like that, and kind of be able to take off and control your elevation. So the motor is kind of cool because you have a little bit more control of things, and why I thought paramotoring would be cooler than paragliding. But anyways, I bought this paraglider from my instructor that I've been working with, and it is a Ozone Kona 27 meter. It's properly sized for my weight and my paramotor and everything like that. The motor I bought from an ex-student of my instructor. He kind of recommended I bought this paramotor and the glider from the guy that was an old student of his. So I bought the motor, and the glider is right here. Unfortunately, once I bought the stuff, I don't know if I kind of caught my instructor off guard or what, but he pretty much told me I was overloaded on the glider that I bought with the motor. And yeah, so the glider that I got with the motor is a Ozone Spider 26 meter, and I'm just at the top of the weight range of it, so he didn't really want to train me with that specific glider. So like I said, I went out and I got the glider that he recommended, and I've been kiting with the motor, with the kiting harness. I've been doing all sorts of kiting, playing around at a bunch of different locations, and I feel like I'm ready to fly. And I've been absolutely terrified of actually flying. I've been having a lot of fun up to this point, and now kind of my next step is to fly. And I'm just a little gun shy, I'll be honest. I actually went out tonight and I went to a local wheat field and a county park with another guy that flies paramotors. And I went out and I was just a little gun shy. I just can't get myself to commit to being in the air because it's scary, and one wrong move on my end and it's kaputski, you know, like you're kind of dead. Not really. Statistically, this sport is actually very safe in retrospect of everything we do every day. I feel like texting and driving down the freeway is probably way more dangerous than this sport when you're properly trained. Statistically speaking, it's actually the same risk as riding a motorcycle. So for all the people out there on my Facebook comments and stuff that are saying that, holy shit, you have balls of steel and you're nuts and all this stuff, realistically, like, it's not that dangerous if you take the right precautions. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys, like, hey, I got a paraglider, I got a paramotor, I got a kiting harness, I got a helmet, I got a windsock. I've been doing a ton of training, literally every single day. I can't get my mind off this shit because I really want to do it and I really want to master it, but it's been tough mentally getting over the hurdle of getting comfortable flying. And I don't know if there's anybody else out there that does this. Probably not. It's not a common thing on my channel, so I don't doubt that there's really nobody doing it, but it's just been tough. And like I said, I went out tonight with the intention of flying by myself. And you guys may wonder, like, why am I not flying with my instructor? Me and my instructor don't really jive. I don't think we have the same thought process of learning, and I think I upset him quite a bit with how I learn. I don't really grasp stuff right away. I have to learn it, like, you know, or hear it 2 or 3 times in order to fully understand and fully grasp the concept of what's going on. But usually when I learn something, it never leaves my brain, ever. Like, you can't get it out. And I think just the communication with me and the instructor has just been kind of shitty, to say the least. So I've been taking a lot of matters into my own hands with continuing my journey learning this sport. And for anybody out there that's wondering, I have gotten proper instructional training up to this point. My next step with this whole thing is my first solo flight, and I kind of bailed. Honestly, at the last minute, I kind of bailed because I knew that was the next step and I was mentally not prepared for it. So I didn't really go back to the instructor, and I felt like maybe I'd be a little bit more comfortable doing it on my own, which I know is probably not the right move, but with the relationship me and the instructor have, it probably is safer for me to do it on my own versus having to work with him. So this has all been kind of a working battle that I've been dealing with, and I just wanted to share it with you guys to show what I've been up to and why I probably haven't been making car content like I should be, and how I've put a lot of stuff to the side over the last month or 2. But this is a really cool thing, and I feel like if I do master it and I do overcome the fears, it's gonna be such a life changer. Honestly, just being in the air in general has been amazing and terrifying at the same time. I have flown with my instructor. We did a tandem flight, and I did some towing operations, which regards you just being connected to the glider, and he pulls you with a rope. If you guys, I forget what Adam Sandler movie that is, but they did the movie where they pulled the person on the paraglider and then the Jeep ran out of gas. Whatever movie that was, you guys will have to leave in the comments. But I did that, and I did okay with it, I think, but it was terrifying. As soon as I did towing, got like 50 feet in the air, I was like, holy shit, this is real. Like, what did I get myself into? Kind of thing. But now I'm at the point where I'm so far invested into this, I gotta do it. And I just wanted to share with you guys what I've been up to. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I didn't really get into a lot of the struggles and stuff like that, but maybe I will in a future video if you guys are interested in this. And I can't wait to make some cool content, whether it's just like a filler to a dyno video or whatever. I can't wait to just like include it in some videos, and I'm really excited to do that, and can't wait to bring you guys along for the journey. So have a great night and a better tomorrow, guys. God bless. We'll see you later. And yeah, this is paramotoring with Hunter Tuned. We'll see where it ends up. Yeah.